How's it going, everyone? It's Mike with Curated Horology, and a bit of a different video today. In the garage, which desperately needs to be cleaned, overhauled, and it's on the list of projects. That's the BMW E28. Maybe I'll get that on a future video. Anyhow, let me get the camera set up somewhat. Little off center, but that's okay. All right, so unboxing from Turkey, I believe. So these things travel a long way. So there's a one of the vintage watch groups that I'm in. Trying not to make a lot of noise so the baby doesn't scream his head off. So one of the vintage groups that I'm in, a gentleman posted he found a bunch of Swiss watches. They're unbranded, but they're basically NOS Swiss pieces with ETA movements. So let's see. I'll say this was rather well packaged. So the whole little Tupperware. You know, it's funny when I see I go in like Lowe's or Home Depot, and I see those little, like, they have, you know, the blue 5-gallon Lowe's buckets, and when you go in and they have the little tiny ones that, like, maybe, I don't know what they are, a quart or half a pint or something. I mean, it's like, what do you do with those? Or I went to Home Depot the other day, and they have those black plastic storage bins with the yellow lids that stack really nice, and they had a really tiny one. It's like, what do you do with that? Well, there you go. There's an idea. Shipping watches, because this I mean, basically it's a mini baby Tupperware. Not a bad idea. Okay, so let's take a look at this thing. Like I said, unbranded, supposedly Swiss watch, ETA movement, but I figured because it was an NOS, it would be neat to practice on. And it's also a 33mm case, so maybe, who knows, maybe it'll be my son's first watch, and the price was right. But I need to practice and learn watchmaking, because my local watchmaker that I bring all my watches to, and he's very, very affordable. He's basically nearing retirement, and so his son, who's running the jewelry shop, is trying to find, you know, watchmakers to come in and replace him. But he was saying, you know, watchmakers, they want all kinds of crazy money now. So basically, I don't know what the future holds as far as being able to buy cool pieces and getting them serviced really, really affordably. So I need to, I think, take up watchmaking. So, because otherwise it's just going to cost a fortune to just keep servicing everything. So, but this thing is cool. Okay, little 33mm case, fixed lugs, which is cool. So we got a little NATO strap, and I like it because it has all of the numerals. What do they call it? Arabic numerals, I believe. So this will be perfect for when my son learns how to start telling time. Let's give it a wind. Not bad. And the guy took pictures with the case back off. The movements look brand new, super clean. So yeah, this will be something cool to start maybe learning on. ETA movement seems to be a pretty common and pretty, I don't recall the movement number off the top of my head, but seems to be pretty common and pretty robust. So if we could focus there, you'll see that it's ticking away just fine. So really thin. I'm happy. That's cool. That'll be the perfect first watch for little Vincenzo. Super cool. Imagine your first watch being a Swiss ETA movement. Okay, so I have things to do. All right, so it is the next day after my unboxing video of that NOS no-name Swiss watch. Was filming in the garage, got home from work, opened up the package, went in the garage because the wife was trying to get the baby to sleep, and figured the garage would be the best place to, not wake him up. And then I had to end the video abruptly because I heard him screaming out there, so wanted to go help her out. And then I had to shower up after work, we went over to my in-laws for dinner last night and so forth, so I never quite got to finish. But so as a recap, Tucker, you're not a cow, dude. Tuck. My dog likes eating grass, and he will throw it up. So in recap, gentleman in one of the vintage watch groups that I'm in on Facebook seemed to find, I think he had about 12 of these. They didn't all have the same case. I think about half of them had this style case with fixed lugs, and the other half had a different case with different lugs. I thought this one was pretty cool. They seem to be just NOS non-branded vintage Swiss watches, pretty cool dial, ETA movement. I'm assuming the case was made in Switzerland or something. Get a little close up here. So brush case, little polishing right there. But what I had planned on doing, I'll get the case back here. What I had planned on doing with this is, it's a 33 millimeter watch. It's got fixed lugs. It's got Arabic numerals. So look how thin it is. I figured this would be the perfect watch when this little guy that I'm holding here starts, is of the age where I can start showing him how to tell the time. I figured this would be the perfect watch. And the seller did show pictures of these with the case back off. I mean, the movements are brand new, untouched. So I think I'd started getting into sharing when I had to stop the video in the garage that my so we have a local jeweler. He's literally I could walk to him if I wanted to. So it's nice. He's you know, less than a quarter mile away. Jeweler's been around forever. Sorry, the squirrels are making crazy noise in the tree over here. So the watchmaker's been there for a long time, and I think 40 years, something like that. And he does a great job on all my watches, especially my vintage pieces that like I can't necessarily send back to the watch company, and he charges an insanely fair amount. Like I'm on average paying $130 or so for a service on a, you know, just a typical 3-hand. So quick wrist check. I'll take it off here so it's not upside down, but this is my vintage Glashute. I want to say circa 1970s, and automatic. And he serviced this one for me for I think it was just about $130. So very fair, very affordable. Takes a little bit of time because he's inundated with watches, but his son is kind of running the show now, and he's more of the jeweler. His dad is the watchmaker, you know, certified. Hey, you all right? He's been like a certified Rolex service guy and the whole 9 yards. But I think based on how backed up things are getting there and how long some of the watches that I have there have been taking and so forth, that he's nearing retirement age, and his son, who's taking over the jewelry part of the business, who I'm becoming friends with, shared that, you know, because I asked, you know, what is your dad gonna be retiring? What's you know, what's the future looking like for the business, for the store, and, you know, for watches and so forth. And he was telling me, you know, it's watchmakers nowadays it's tough to, it would be tough for a small mom and pop shop like this to hire a watchmaker, because they've got, or I should say, a watchmaker with the breadth of experience that his dad has, because, you know, they demand really high price tags. So you know, I'm sure they're gonna figure something out, but it got me thinking. I've been watching channels like Wristwatch Revival and that for years now, and I've always been mechanically inclined. I enjoy working on cars. I enjoy working on paintball guns. I enjoy working on tools, you know, things with engines. So I think that maybe getting into watchmaking as an extension of this watch collecting hobby might be a you know, a logical progression. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start, you know, acquiring the tools. I have, you know, small, like cheap Chinese made screwdrivers and different things. So I'm going to start investing in quality tools and so forth, and you know, try my hand at watchmaking. I've done a couple small things. Like I had a Waltham vintage 1960s Waltham that what was wrong with it? The balance wheel. There's an issue probably with the pivot or something in the balance wheel. So I found a donor watch and pulled the balance wheel off of that, and, you know, got the thing running. I've oiled movements. I've done, you know, some work on like getting Timex, you know, with those old, I don't even think those movements are really serviceable, but getting those running. So, you know, I've done a couple things here and there as needed, but yeah, I think it's time to get into full-blown watchmaking. The fact of the matter is, I have, even if you know, the local guy here doesn't retire, I think he's got a product of quality work is the amount of work that he has, and and I've been there before when I had a small business during COVID, just servicing paintball markers and that. I have a very niche brand and type of paintball marker that I was servicing, and it just, you know, people find out about the work you do, and then they just send it out. You're working on stuff that's 20 plus years old, and in the watch world, you're working on stuff that's 30, 40, 50, 60 plus years old. Parts are hard to find, things stack up. Service takes longer than people want. People get impatient. So I can imagine where he's at. And even if he doesn't retire, the fact of the matter is I have like a whole, I think I have 6 or 7 watches with him now, that I've been waiting on, you know, some a couple months, some I have one watch that's particularly difficult to find parts for, that's been with him probably a year now. Actually, we're probably going on almost 2 years. And it's fine. I'm not in a rush. He knows that, you know, I'm not in any worry that, you know, he's going to be losing the watch or you know, having any ill intent there. So, you know, it's fine. But the fact of the matter is that I have another stack of probably 8 or 10 watches that I want to bring to him, and I'm kind of waiting for him to get through what he currently has. So yeah, so all that to say, I think it's time that I get into watchmaking. And so yeah, this ETA movement, you know, watch for my son, I think will be a pretty cool watch to maybe learn on. And let me take a little time here. I'll share another hobby of mine. I'm always interested, and I always see posts in the watch groups and that. Oh, you know, what are other hobbies you have? What are other things you collect? I think there's a lot of crossover between watch people, watch collectors, and so forth, and car people. So I don't know. I'll share some other things that I'm into here, and see if anyone else is interested. I don't know what's going on with these squirrels today. They're just making chasing each other around, causing all kinds of noise. Anyhow, sorry. ADD brain. So, Tucker, don't eat that. My dog goes after, and that's how you know this is an authentic video. I don't have anything doctored up, staged up. You see, I got all kinds of stuff that I need to clear out under the deck. We have the recycling bins over here, but got a little lemongrass plant there that my dog loves to go after. And apparently large quantities of lemongrass aren't good for dogs, so gotta keep an eye on him. All right, so here's one of the other many hobbies. I don't know if that's going to show up backwards or not, but it says Mike's Orchard. So I don't know if I could flip this camera around. I may have to I may have to stop the video and start a new one. But this is what we do, maybe not every morning, but almost every morning. I try to come out here for 20-30 minutes with the dog, with my son if it's not too hot out, and we just hang out in the yard, listen to the birds, take a walk through the garden. So, all right, let me flip this camera around. So here's one of the gardens. Got all kinds of things growing. Mint. This is a, which one is this? This is a French lavender plant that has kind of grown in with one of our chive plants. More mint. I want to say this is spearmint, and then this is some other type of mint. Got English lavender here. Here's an apple tree, which last year produced phenomenal apples. This year, so I'm working on getting all these posts raised. I need to today connect the tops with 2x4s, and I need to get a net over this garden because the animals have already gotten all of the apples. This is a milkweed plant. My neighbor planted some over there, other side of the fence, because this is supposed to attract monarch butterflies, and yeah, it travels. So got some milkweed growing in the garden. You can see on either side of the milkweed blueberry plants, which the animals got all of. We have tons and tons of strawberries, which actually I think they multiply every year, so I think we need to start probably getting another or starting another garden bed for them, because they'll just take over. You can see the path. There's no longer a path here, so I will try not to step on anything. But so I left the net up in the fall last year, and the one of our snowstorms, we made it through almost the whole winter, and I figured that, you know, I could get away with leaving the net up. And then the last snowstorm that we had took everything down, ruined a couple plants. So the net came off, working on raising everything. So for now, I just threw netting over the strawberry plants. Strawberry season's over, but I would say we maybe got to eat 30-40% of what we grew. The animals got the rest. They just go right under the net. I already said they got all the apples, they got all the blueberries. This is a pear tree here, and let me tell you, if you like pears, you haven't had pears as good as right off the tree. Oh, look at that. Maybe we will still get some pears yet this year. I don't know if that will ripen in time, but maybe there's hope. Maybe the animals didn't get them all. So, all right, we'll see what happens. If we get a couple, that'd be nice. So continuing along here, we have more English lavender. I like a lot of lavender in the garden, and it's attracts good pollinators, attracts other forms of insects and so forth. This little guy here is a Mexican oregano plant. Now, how that differs from Greek oregano or Italian oregano, which we also have growing throughout, I have no idea. But you see, I believe that's a Greek oregano plant here, and it's kind of growing wild. This little Mexican oregano plant just keeps, it just kind of stays to itself, interestingly enough. There's a blackberry plant here that seems like is getting overrun with oregano, so I'm gonna have to sort that out. But the animals got all of the blackberries. Plant marigolds throughout as well. Those are also good for good pollinators and deter some of the stuff you don't want. This is one of the fig trees here, and it is loaded with figs. So I'm having an issue where I planted 2 summers ago. I planted this fig tree and another one right here, same variety. And the first winter, I guess I didn't wrap them properly. This one died. I had to cut the trunk all the way down to the ground, and but it didn't die completely. It sprouted up from the ground and had some nice growth last year, and as you can see, tons of growth this year, but not a single fig last year or this year. So both winters that this particular plant survived, it hasn't grown any figs. Oh, what's that? Okay. Then this one over here, so the one I planted 2 summers ago completely died, did not come back like this one did. So I dug that up, planted this one last year, got about 40-50 figs last year, and then had a little bit of a slow start this year, but as you can see, it's got tons and tons of figs. So I'm wondering, some more down there, I'm wondering if this is a different varietal than this one here, and I may need to pot this one. So that's that. We have thyme. Trying to think of just about everything that we have planted in here grows back every year. So thyme, sage, more thyme over there, oregano. There was stuff that's growing really tall here. Let me just be careful not to step on any figs here. Okay, more lavender, oregano. This is lemon balm here. Okay, so yeah, everything in here grows back every year except the marigolds I have to plant every year. Basil does not grow back, and rosemary, which I do have rosemary in there somewhere. So I have to, yeah, that's one of the other hobbies. So saw the earlier part of this video, the car, the garage, which we've been in the house 5 years now. I thought I'd have that garage totally renovated, but you know, other things, other priorities get in the way. So little by little, it's all getting done. Gardens, house projects, watches, cars, gardening. There's more hobbies, but we'll save those for another video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, you know, the whole deal. Let me know what you're interested in. Thanks.